We do have Sandip Agarwal, fund manager and co-founder Sowilo Investment Manager, also joining us on the show right now. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Agarwal, and a very good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon, and thanks for having me on the show.
You know, Mr. Agarwal, when you talk about this particular IPO, this was long awaited, this particular approval that we're talking about. Listing process is now firmly set in motion. Do you think that it will be a long wait from here on?
No, I don't think, because see, the process, as Mr. Chavan rightly mentioned, is same, that 3 to 4 months it takes to file the DRHP, and then SEBI gets back with the observations and everything, and then I think 8 to 12 months is the period between which it can come. Obviously, a lot of competent people are must be working on it for quite long time. So I believe that a lot of data will be in place. So I believe that 8 to 12 months is a period when it should come, and I'm very confident that there should not be much more delay from here, primarily because if you see, everything is now falling in place. There is in principle approval and everything. So I think should not be more than 12 months for sure.
Well, absolutely. And let's also put the spotlight for a bit on the valuations, right? Because you do have global exchanges trading at 10 to 30 times forward price to earnings. And you do have Indian exchanges, the likes of BSE, MCX, also trading at higher multiples given their stronger growth outlook. So given all of that, what's your take on valuations when it comes to NSE?
So I think, we have generally seen that whenever a government is involved, they generally try to, put lot of money on the table for the investors. So my view is, and since it is an OFS, and obviously, naturally, you don't need more money to run an exchange. It is a very low capital intensive business. So I think that, the IPO will be very rightly priced, and will be probably in a very, very reasonable range. I would say my guess is that it will be uh, around 15-20 times forward earning, and not much more than that. And when that happens, I think a lot of people will have a good opportunity to buy this for a long-term perspective, because exchanges globally are a monopoly business, cash throwing businesses, and more or less, little less cyclical in nature, because both on the upside and downside, in any circumstances, trading do happen. The volumes may go down for some or other reason, but generally it is a all season business. So I believe that it will be fairly priced, and not priced expensively. So will give a good opportunity for everyone to be in to have it in portfolio.
Well, absolutely. And something that you alluded towards also, given that NSE is out with an IPO, does this also chip away at the scarcity premium, do you think, for BSE now?
So I will not say whether it will cheap away the scarcity premium, but let me put it this way: that if NSE is priced rightly, then some of the premium which is there for multiple reasons in case of other exchanges, those premiums may come down or will go through some time correction.
Rather than when it comes to NSE's market share on 3-day expiry, that in fact has actually improved just a tad bit. So what do you think is your outlook when it comes to the entire market share picture as well?
So I would say that a lot of things have changed. If you see on from the regulatory side and the expiry side, and a lot of things have are still moving. So very tough to put make a concrete view on such a small time frame. But let me put it this way: that there is ample opportunity for both of them, and both will do well. Both are structural business. We love this kind of businesses where the capital required is very, very low, and less cyclical in nature, cash flowing businesses. So and most importantly, you just see that the equity penetration in India is still very, very low. It is abysmally low compared to the developed market. So there is no reason for us to believe that uh, uh, maybe market share on paper looks little different, move here and there, but huge amount of volume is going to come. So market itself will increase substantially. So there is no risk from that perspective on whether there is a more market share or less market share. Yes, on paper it is important, but in reality, when you are going to grow at such a high pace, I don't see it will be a concern.
All right, then speaking of concerns, then let's talk about what the threats could possibly be. Is there any fine print here, any caveat that you're looking at, or do you think it's poised to create value for investors just in general?
So, see, obviously, our view is that it will be rightly priced or fairly priced, and will leave a lot of money on the table for the investor. But let's say if that doesn't happen, and it is priced little high, then probably money will not be made in near term, but long term, I think it is a structural story. We don't see much threat any which ways. So I'm reasonably confident that it's a good business to be in the portfolio.
Alright then, and I quickly wanted to, before we let you go, get a word in on if you think there's going to be a ripple effect when it comes to select stocks, because you do have IFCI that has been rallying for a bit. Are there any other stocks that are likely to be impacted by this particular news flow?
No, not much, because everything has been priced in. So, these all things have already happened. So, because this was in news for last 6 months to 12 months that, it is going to happen. It is not that suddenly it has been announced. So, I don't see much ripple effect now. Sorry. Closer to listing, if market sentiment improves and people see good listing and good delta, then obviously, again, there'll be second round of impact.
Alright then, and Right. Mr. Agarwal, do you have any closing comments when it comes to this entire news flow? Anything that, you'd want investors to take note of?
No, nothing. I think it is a very good business to have everyone in portfolio, and let's hope that it definitely closes in the next 12 months, because long awaited. Many investors are invested for a long time, so will be a very, very good news for everyone.
All right then. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us, Mr. Agarwal.